Hi, this is Sandy, and I am here in Fishers today with Kenny Wilkerson. Kenny is from the group back in the 80s called Nova
Rex.
Nova
Rex.
Rex, I know it. And we have some amazing things to talk about. Kenny is actually right here from central Indiana, south of Indianapolis, and he has done some amazing things over his career. So let's get into it. Kenny,
Hi, Cindy. How are you?
Thank you for joining me.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We finally got a chance to meet.
Beautiful
and what a
weather.
Beautiful day
Yeah,
for
and
it.
now being in Indiana, it could snow later.
True. That is true.
Sorry.
I never know how to dress this time of the year. It's always the wrong decision.
Snow, rain, sleet, and
Yes.
sun all in one
Yes,
day.
one.
But no,
100%.
I love it here. I was very excited. I came up, obviously, to visit family, and the main reason was back on Friday.
Yes.
The beautiful Indiana State Museum put up a whole display of me in the Indiana State Museum.
I know, and you have something else coming up there too, which we're going to cover
Right.
in a couple months, but we'll save that till later.
It's got some good stuff coming.
And also, right now is something really exciting.
Nope.
You have a documentary out.
I do. I have my
me
second
about that.
a second documentary. We put out one back in 2011 that had a short run on Netflix back then. That's back when they used to mail the DVDs in.
Yes.
That's how long ago that
Yes,
was.
yes.
But now it's all about streaming.
Of course.
So
Well,
I have this.
absolutely.
Nova Rex Ain't Easy, Staying Cheesy. It's available right now on Prime Video. If you guys want
Yes.
to spend $2, $3, go check it out. Prime Video, and it's about our 39 year history.
And I watched it last night, Kenny. I was so amazed. First of all, there was a lot of things from Indianapolis.
That's
a lot of the local
right.
media was involved with your project, and all the vintage footage of the band.
Right?
actually
All my different
performing.
hairdos that I had over the years.
I know, at some point
Blonde,
I was like,
black,
yes,
sparkly. I don't
yes,
know.
curly, straight.
all that, yeah.
As a matter of fact, a couple of times I thought, now wait a minute, Kenny's got blonde hair at that time.
I had blonde for a while.
Yeah,
Well, that was
yeah.
part of the whole rock and roll thing. We
Of
used to make.
course.
That's why we always called it a hair metal band.
Yes, yes.
You used to walk the Sunset Strip and be able to just take people's hairdos and move them around. They all look the same. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to spot who was there.
But hey, the girls liked it though. Everybody thought Bon Jovi was kind of cute. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, and I remember you stated that there was some reason regarding women that really kind of got you involved.
Well, it's always about the women. He's shooting that right now because of women. No, you know what it was? It's that we used to just wear our girls' clothes. And I think originally it was
Okay.
because we were just so broke. I just remember going to different, girls that would pick us up along the way and they'd feed us, clothe us, and all that. So yeah, that could be part of it.
Yeah.
Plus, we had a lot to do with the ozone as well, with the Aquanet and all that.
Oh, yes, I remember.
But we still do
that.
the eyeliner, we still do the
Uh-huh.
fingernail polish
Yes,
and stuff.
I
So
saw that. The documentary was done very well.
Well, thank you.
The fact that you did have all that vintage footage
Yeah.
to include, it really put you back in that era.
Well, you know what happened was I just had so many VHS tapes from back, and listen, that's just the stuff that I kept.
Oh, wow.
You know, think of all the stuff that I missed, and I wish I
Yes,
had a video
yes.
of that, or I had a
Oh,
video of that.
100%.
But at least it tells the story of just an '80s rock band trying to do it, and still doing it.
And so back when you grew up here in central Indiana,
Yeah.
tell me again how you kind of even got started in this industry.
Well, for me, I talk about it. Well, maybe it's not. It's in the doc a little bit, but
Yes.
I seen a concert when I was like 12 or 13 years old. It was an Ozzy Osbourne concert.
Oh, there you go.
And since then, I've been able to interview everybody in that band, which is amazing. But it's just that I thought these guys were superheroes. You know, I look at Jimmy Page the same way that my son looks at, say, Elon Musk.
Oh, different world.
Just different worlds, but different, people that you look up to. And then that was really it. And I got my first bass guitar when I was 13, and it just didn't stop.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. And and the thing about music business is there's no brass ring. Everybody says to me, hey, did you do it? Did you make it? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I wake up every day a rock star. I don't know what the, and so there's no real brass ring, and you kind of got to go get whatever you want to do. Just like you want to have a show, you do a show.
Absolutely. And then there was one thing from the documentary that I was really intrigued by.
Okay.
And it really happened fast for you guys.
Okay.
And when you were on the airplane.
Yes.
Can you tell that story again?
Well, the airplane thing, what happened was the grunge just came out, and everybody in LA was telling us, because we moved to LA in '87.
Okay.
Sort of towards the end, but we're still flying and all that. And then the grunge thing came in with Nirvana, and then they were just telling everybody to look, cut your hair, put on some flannel, move to Seattle, and I didn't want to do that.
Right.
So I jumped on a plane to come to Indianapolis to visit family, and the overall welcome that I got, kind of because I had that LA rock and roll attitude, and I came here and people wasn't quite used to it. So yeah, it was just, I don't want to say big fish little pond, but it was big fish.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you were on an airplane, and
the story on the airplane.
Suddenly, people started recognizing you.
Yeah,
right?
no, I had somebody come to me. This is when I was a kid, 23 years old. I had somebody come to me, a stewardess, and asked me for my autograph. And then, so before it was over with, all the stewardess were asking. The pilot mentioned my name on the intercom, and I ended up signing. I ran that whole plane all the way to Indianapolis. So then when I got here, I called my guys back in LA. I'm like, hey, we just got this kind of welcome. I got this kind of welcome, just being on a plane. I said, let's bring the band here and see if we can't buy ourselves some more time, which we did.
That's awesome.
And ended up getting the Budweiser Anheuser-Busch sponsorship for the state of Indiana.
I saw that on the documentary. That was a pretty impressive thing. How did you do that?
All I did was just call them up. I just called them up and said, look, we're the band, we're the bomb, we're doing it. We need some backing, and it didn't take them an hour to write us a check. And the last show that I did was an Anheuser-Busch show in town. The last one I did, being based here, was Rally in the Alley with the Indiana Pacers.
There you go.
And Bob and Tom. Yeah, so that was
Bob and Tom.
that was a pretty good gig. But Anheuser-Busch got us that show as well.
So a lot of things just kind of fell into place, and the time in history, this was before social media, so to make something happen
It was tough.
Different than it is today.
Well, I used to tell people, we used to go on the road and we would pass other bands in, driving, right? And, hey, where you heading? Oh, tell Susie from Chicago we said hi. But yeah, we used to be the kind of guys that we would go into the venues and we would write stuff with a marker. We would write stuff about us in the girls' bathroom on purpose, or we would flyer the ceilings and stuff. We did crazy things for social media.
You were ahead of your time.
I thought so, but the thing about social media today, everybody says, what do you think about social media? And the thing is, it's great because everybody can be heard.
Sure.
But the problem with social media is everybody can be heard,
heard,
so
right.
Nobody gets heard.
Right.
So
right.
it's, and
it's a double-edged sword.
it totally is. I mean, you talk about how we were bands that would play the songs for 2 or 3 years in clubs. We'd work it out, see if the club, and if we like the song, then we record it. Now these kids, they'll just take their drum machine in their bedroom, cut one song, they're one and done, and it's not a band. I mean, I was talking about the other day, just even with all the bands that you see now, all the bigger end bands. Your Beyoncé's, your Bruno Mars, your Ed Sheeran's, your Taylor Swift's.
Sure.
They're all solo artists.
Yeah.
Show me a band.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Tell me who the drummer is in Taylor Swift. I'm a musician and I don't even know.
Wow.
Because it's not important.
And it's so true, so true. And when you guys got here to Indianapolis, it sounds like the community really embraced you.
They did. Like I said, I've always bragged about being from Indianapolis. A lot of people don't talk about it, per se, but I'm like, this was a great place to be born and raised. I mean, listen, other than your weather, I would be here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
but
we got a little challenge there, but it's fun to see snow.
I'm still a Colts fan. I'm still a Pacer fan.
There you go.
So
And your heart's here because you're here today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, it's home.
Right. Right.
Florida's welcoming pretty good down there.
I'm sure.
And believe it or not, I was counting it the other day. I've lived in Florida like 3 years longer than I've ever lived in this state.
Wow.
So I'm split right down the middle on it.
Yeah. And the band has actually been around for how many years?
We've been together since March of '85,
Wow.
so we're getting close to 39 years.
But as of right now, are you the only original?
I am the only original. I had JP Cervoni, my partner in this, back in '85, and I still talk to him and stuff. And he's just doing his own thing. He's just pretty much retired. I mean, he's getting up there in age, and I don't know if he can really get in a van and trailer and drive to Oklahoma and back. I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of work out there still. I can barely do it.
Well, and I was going to say, when you guys were back then, went on the road, that was a big endeavor. You were gone for months
at
on
a time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember even the 4 or 5 years we were based in Indianapolis in the early '90s. I mean, I would go 3 to 6 months at a time without even stopping here. Well, it was just, if you're out in Pittsburgh, it's cheaper just to get a room for 2 nights than to drive all the way back and then go back that way anyways.
Sure.
So but I used to like Indiana for the fact that it was centrally located.
Yeah.
The thing about Florida, it sucks because you have to go up
and
before you can go anywhere.
You're right.
Yeah.
There you go.
Indiana's kind of right in a good spot. So,
There you go.
Yeah. And the people in the Midwest love rock and roll.
True.
Yeah, I mean, they say, East Coast, West Coast, Midwest. I would have to say the Midwest people are definitely more receptive.
And what everyone thinks about a band from the 80s,
Yep.
the...
Partying?
Yes, there you go. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we were pretty good shape that way. We never had any really drug addicts or anything in our band. Now, we had to get rid of guys that would not be focused on the music and be focused more on the partying of it.
Right.
But the partying never was really the part that I was all about. I just wanted to, JP wanted to write good songs. I wanted to do real business, and but no, we got through it. I mean, the stories are there. The good thing for us is cell phone cameras weren't around back then.
Oh.
Or
wow.
I'd probably be in jail.
Well, and as I watched the documentary, it really felt to me like you were the brains of the operation.
I had that.
You were the business.
Well, I told you I
made the business happen.
Well, I told you I used to walk around with a briefcase.
Yes,
I thought that was
yes,
cool back in the day.
yes.
But you know what? I give that to my parents. My dad was a used car salesman, and I just have it in me.
Yeah.
And I figure if you can't promote yourself, who can you promote?
Right.
It's a little self-indulgent at some point, but at least I know I'll show up the next day and I'll appreciate it.
Yes.
All the hard work.
Well, and the fact that the band is still around probably has to do with
It's all
a
me.
lot your
yeah,
efforts.
it's all
yes,
me.
yes.
And then I'll tell you a cool thing we got coming up in the next month is we're getting ready to send the DVD into space.
Oh.
I haven't even told you that. But that's,
No,
but
well,
that's
it's
getting ready.
breaking news.
Yeah, that's
Tell me more about
well,
that.
it's just a fun little story. I heard about this company a couple of years ago. They take a weather balloon and they send it 27 miles into space with a GoPro. And the band itself, believe it or not, the name is Latin. Nova Rex. It means new king or comet king or star king. I'm sorry. And so it kind of had that space themed anyways.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm always, and obviously living in Florida, the one thing that me and my son have in common is the all the space stuff they got going on. I mean, I've been down there for a while. They used to shoot off a rocket, luckily once a month. They shoot off 3 and 2 hours now.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I think Cape Canaveral is going to end up just being like an airport hub before it's over with.
Oh, wow.
So I
That's
thought
exciting.
I just wanted to get into it before
Yeah.
it's early.
Kinda
First
connect that.
rocker into space. It'd be
Yeah.
a great promo.
Oh, I want to be in.
I mean, who
front
else
of
is going to do
that?
that? But that's about talking about me. That's just how my brain thinks.
Yes.
What can I
yes.
do next?
And you have a son,
I do.
and you were telling me a little bit of his story.
He's got autism. Yeah.
And then you did something really cool with your
Thanks.
cookbook.
Well,
Tell us about that.
It's a passion project that I did a couple of years ago. I had an FM radio show out of Florida, Orlando area, and I was interviewing some different musicians. Matter of fact, how it started is I was interviewing Mariah Carey's bass player.
Oh, wow.
Which, who's that, right? But because again, another solo artist. But he was from New Orleans. He said, "Look, I just came back from New Orleans." He said, "I have a recipe that's 100 years old, a jambalaya recipe from my mom. I'd love to give it to you." So I got it. And I started collecting recipes, and after I had about 20 or 30 of them, I just started reaching out to the rock community. I found a charity called We Rock for Autism that did music
perfect.
therapy.
Perfect.
Right. So it was just and what was funny about it too, or not funny, but coincident, is that a lot of the musicians, look, everybody knows somebody with some autism at this point.
Sure.
I can't remember the numbers today, but it's like 1 in 50 or 1 in 45 or something like that people some form
Sure.
of autism, and that
Sure.
is a lot of people. And I think, and we were talking about that off air earlier, that I think the numbers are going up.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. And you've been able to really, with your cookbook,
Yep.
you've been able to, first of all, you have them for sale, and I'll be sure to post that information
Yep.
later as well. And money goes for the
Music therapy
organization,
and raising awareness. Yeah.
and education.
And the book's really cheap. I sold it's a 2-pound hardback coffee table book with 57 famous rockers, some Grammy winners, some Hall of Famers, and the book sells for $29.95.
Can't beat that.
That's I mean, it should sell for 50, but
yeah.
but I just wanted to get it out there.
Sure.
But if you want to see like what Ricky Rocket from Poison cooks, get the book. Steve Luca III, get the book. If you just want to, if you like to cook like my girl who has the Paula Deans and the Rachel
Sure.
Rays, the Martha Stewart cookbooks, the thing I liked about a cookbook is they don't expire. When you cut like I cut a song just about a year ago.
Sure.
Well, people are asking what's the next song. But with a cookbook, it kind of it doesn't really expire.
It lasts forever.
It does last. So if you want to know what Joey Allen from Warrant, what he cooks for his family, get the cookbook. If you want to help raise money for awareness on autism, get the cookbook. And if you just like to cook, get the cookbook.
I agree. And so you've got some things coming up
Yep.
that we talked about, which I'll be coming out with those as it
Thanks.
gets closer. The band still is in existence, as you said. You guys have some fairly new songs out.
Yeah,
What-
we just played 3 weeks ago in Rocklahoma.
Wow.
That was our 4th time there, and that is if you guys, anybody that's into music festivals knows this particular gig and all. But it was us. The other bands were Godsmack, Rob Zombie, Pantera, Bush. I mean, it goes on forever.
Nice.
It's like 100 bands or something.
That's
So
so
it's
great.
fun to see these guys.
And if the documentary, let's just take a
Yep.
quick get back to that for a second. Tell me how that came about.
Well, the first documentary, I did it back in 2010 is when we recorded it, and it was because I had a bunch of VHS tapes, like you said, that I just had from different things that I actually had. And I put out a greatest hits CD back then, and there was a guy in town named Dean Robinson. He used to run a rock rag called Hygienes Magazine, and I asked him if he could put these VHS tapes on YouTube to kind of give us a, help promote the
Sure,
CD.
sure.
And he's like, you got so much stuff, we should do a documentary, and that's what we did. So then, here we go, 12 years later, COVID comes around, and we didn't know how long that was going to last. And that absolutely killed me, because that's the only income I have.
Right.
So at the time I thought, well, this may last for a while, let's double down and just do another doc. And it took a couple of years, but
But
here
you
we
had
are.
the material to work with.
I did.
And that's what made it key.
Yeah.
It's a great documentary.
Oh, thank
I
you.
really suggest you go on Amazon Prime is where I watched it, but I know there's some other streaming.
There, if you just Google Novarex, Ain't Easy Staying Cheesy, there's different streaming services that
Ain't
carry.
Easy Staying Cheesy. And the first one was
Ain't Easy Being Cheesy.
Being Cheesy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well, that's
you
us
kinda
making that's
updated the name.
that's
Yeah.
us making fun of the hair metal and the
Yeah,
music
of
business in
course,
general.
of
The
course.
music business is a complete joke.
Yes.
It's the most craziest business ever.
But it's been such an interesting life for you so far, right?
It has. I wouldn't really change anything other than probably maybe Facebook stock or Microsoft stock. But other than that, there's nothing in my music career that I could have said I would have done
Yeah.
differently. It was all meant to be.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And it's very well documented in the documentary.
Oh
so,
yeah, it's totally awesome.
Yeah. So anything else coming up that you want to share?
I don't even really know. I mean, we're 2 weeks into the documentary, so that's
Okay.
that and obviously the space thing I told you is coming up.
Yes, that's all.
That's kind of exciting, and then and I'll be back here probably in a couple of months to do the display again.
Yes, and we'll definitely do something with that. Now, if people want to, stay in touch,
Yeah.
see what's going on, tell me where you are located on social media.
All our
and-
websites, we're on all of it. The Instagram, the Twitter, Facebook. You can go to our website too. Everything is at NovarexRocks, ROCKS.com. Or
Perfect.
Novarex Rocks on social media.
Wow. Well, during your short time in Indianapolis, I really appreciate you taking the time to come and meet
Thank
with
you.
me in person and share your story. And then we will get together soon to kind of give everyone an update.
Oh, I appreciate it, Sandy.
All right,
Thank you so
thank you
much.
so much.
Sandy's on the scene.
It's been great meeting this guy. You have to check out his stuff. Thank you, guys.